Welcome to Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, today's video, we're going to be making a double wide gate. This is 2 gates in a 9-foot opening, a little bit more than 9 feet. And the height of the gate is going to be just over 5. It's going to have a little radius top to it. We're going to have a little decor on the top part of the gate and a 6-inch solid kick panel on the bottom. And the field is going to be some clear cedar 1x6 tongue and groove. It's going to be a pretty good project. Let's get started today's video. All right, so we're getting started here by just getting everything cut into the dimensions I need. And this is the piece of 1x2 rectangular tubing that I had my metal supply store bend for me. I don't have that capability here in my shop. And once I got everything cut up, you can see I'm cutting everything to dimension here. I couldn't get any of this in any of my saw equipment, so the only way I had to do it was with a cutoff wheel right here, which with a grinder. That worked out pretty good. It's the best way I could do it without things binding up in any of the saw equipment I had. And for the straighter pieces, of course, we just put them in the slugger, and I was able to cut the angles that I needed. These are the side rails right here. This is not quite a 45. I think it's about a 30-degree angle or so. And once I got that done, I just clamped everything down to the with the fixture clamps to the welding table right here. Got everything nice and square and clamped everything down. And, started to tack things together right here. And sometimes, at least I was having a bit of a problem. There was a little bit of a gap right there. In some places, there was 1/8 of an inch. And so I couldn't, this material is 063, so it's pretty thin. And, sometimes, even though I got the machine turned down quite a bit, you've just got to stitch weld your way through some of this to fill some of that gap. You can see that I'm not welding all the way through on the outside. I just wanted to stop just short. I didn't want to get in my welding table right there. We'll take care of those welds a little bit later on in the video. I just continued to cutting things out right here. You can see this is the side rails. It's got everything clamped to my table just exactly the way it's supposed to be. I'm leaving myself about 3/8 of an inch gap right there. And then, of course, the side rails go in. Got everything clamped down. This is the bottom part. And, of course, this gate is a little bit bigger than my welding table, so I had to improvise by clamping some material to the very bottom right there. All right, just tack welding, stitch welding, whatever you want to call it, the pieces together right here, getting all those big gaps filled in. We'll get those ground down here in a little bit. Some of them are pretty tight, like this one right here. You can just weld right through. There's no problems, but, that worked out pretty good. This is the second part of the radius, the top part of the gate, and I'm just lining up and getting everything measured off, and we're going to finish cutting these things to pieces right here. And hopefully when this is all done, this thing will fit right in where it's supposed to. I did make a couple little adjustments, not much, but once it was all cut and adjusted properly, you can see that it just fit right in right where it's supposed to. And I'm just going to go ahead and just tack this in as well. I'm going to weld as much of it out as I can on this side. Like I said, the table's still clamped down. I'm not moving anything. I'm trying to get it all done while it's all clamped down. Now, this is the part of the decor that the owner chose, and it was available for me in, I think it was 1824, and this was an 8-foot piece, and so I got an 8-foot piece of this, and was able to just cut it to length. Actually 2 pieces because I'm going to need for both sides. But I just bent it right around the corner right there, and then just put that little curly Q in the end. And that kind of finished things off. Same thing for the other side. I got these pieces at kingmetals.com. I got a few stores around the United States. They're a supplier of just about anything you need for decorative metal decor. All right, so this is the bottom part, the kick panel, if you will. I was debating on what size to make this, and I ultimately just went with the same dimensions I had on the top. Proportionally, that looked the most correct. I think I was about 6.5 inches at the top, and this is like 6.5 inches at the bottom, so it looked more balanced that way. All right, so now it's time to weld everything out all the way around, inside and out. I've got things tipped up on top, and I'm just going around and just welding everything I can. I don't want any open voids anywhere that would trap water later and cause rust pockets. So I got it all done. And the last things right here is putting the kick panels on the bottom. Now this is some 14 gauge sheet metal, and I just use the HTP 875 SC plasma cutter right here and make quick order of cutting a couple pieces that I needed. And then it was just a matter of a 1/2 inch little tack all the way around, about 6 to 8 inches apart. And that's all you need to hold that thing in place. It's not going anywhere. All right, so now it's time to start cleaning up some of the welds. Now I'm only grinding the welds here on the outside edge of everything. That's about all I can get to, and that's all I really need to. The inside welds I'm not concerned about. Can't get in there to clean them up anyway. I'm using the Mercer. This is a trimmable flap disc right here, a ceramic flap disc. I believe it's like a 36 grit. I found this to be really cool. What I like about these is it's got a 5/8 arbor, and they just spin right onto the angle grinder and tighten right up. It's very convenient. They're lightweight, and they last a long time. Work pretty good for me. All right, so this is the strapping right here that's going to be holding the wood in place, and this is 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch, just some flat bar stock. You can see that I'm just putting multiple cuts about every 3 inches right here. This is for the radius part of the top part of the gate, so I can bend it around the corner when I weld it on. Once again, I'm just fitting these pieces in, and just some tack welds right here about every 6 to 8 inches apart, and that's really all you need. You might see I'm using those mag squares right there. I gotta say, I love these things. I got those bigger ones on Amazon a while back and thought I'd give them a try. They were very inexpensive. And, those things work great. You can see I've got a couple smaller ones there, but the larger ones, they work so well. As a matter of fact, I ordered a couple more sets of them. Really handy to have around the shop. It just holds everything nice and flush and flat to the material that I'm working with right here. And then once I got that done, it's just, grinding these welds down here a little bit. You see, I'm changed things up a little bit. I'm also using the zirconia flap disc right here by Mercer as well. This is also trimmable. Also has that 5/8 arbor. Slides things on and off. Easy change. All right, I'm just finishing grinding everything down. There's a lot of welds all the way around, and so just finish things up and grinding things down. I just like it that way, and you'll see it might look like it's a little hectic, but you know what? It is being painted black, and once everything is painted, you really can't tell, and it looks pretty good. Now here I'm cutting these hinges down. Now these are heavy-duty hinges, and I want to try some different hinges someday, but I'm with these hinges right here is what I've been using lately, and I want to try some barrel hinges, but anyways, I'm using these. They're super heavy duty, and you see me cutting those things down, and that's before I decided I wanted to put a gusset in here to add some strength to it. Now you see me talking about that mag square. Look so excited about those mag squares. Anyways, I'm just welding this gusset out right here, and then I'm grinding that down. Come to find out, I really didn't need to cut that hinge down. It would have fit in there just the way it was, but nevertheless, no harm, no foul. We're just going to go ahead and get that welded out. And then I'm getting underneath the other side here. I'm just welding the gussets on the other side, just getting the maximum strength I can. I guess I was just worried about the gate flexing since this is only 1x2 rectangular tubing. I thought this would just add some additional strength to it. So, hopefully it wouldn't, want to buckle or bend or something at that point. Oh, the gate's really not that heavy. The wood that's going in it is very light, and the frame really wasn't too bad. That was a back strap. That was a stop strap that I just welded on. And now it's just time to get the wood in here. Now I've got the owner here. This is my good friend Pat. This is who we're making the gate for, and he wanted to be a part of this thing, and I thought it would be a great idea. So Pat had got the wood, and he pre-stained everything and then brought it over, and we installed this together. It was a good camaraderie. We worked well together. It was a lot of fun having Pat in the shop helping finish on this gate. You can see we just, I did the measuring and he did the cutting, and we just are putting everything in place right here. We took a little bit of time. The stuff is very expensive, and we just wanted the best look we could. And once we got everything snapped into place, it was time to finish attaching it in. Now the way we're doing this is just with some 3/4 inch angle iron. And you know, we're just going to screw that in to the backside, and that's what's going to hold it in. There are no screws that hold anything in other than these little panels right here. And the beauty of this, in case you got a bad piece of wood or something goes bad or you want to change it out, it's just a matter of taking these self-tapping screws out and then replacing the wood and then putting them back in. Pretty good design. I kind of like it that way. Plus, you don't see any screw heads from the front side of the gate. That worked out really good. All right, we're just finishing things up right here. This is the last part of it, and Pat's just doing the final screwing in right here of the last bracket. And there it is. That's what the gates looked like coming off the welding table here in the shop, and there they are installed. That worked out really good. It's a good-looking gate. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my website at JIMBO'sGarage.com for your torch lead holders and swag. Follow us on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.